in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, Gorgeous.
All right, 3 minutes after 10 o'clock. Let's go back to Joe Martone. He's over at the Veterans Stand Down event. If you are a veteran and you need a little bit of help, you might want to go out to the Veterans Resource Center. Joe will tell you everything you need to know. But I can tell you this, they got free clothing, they're giving away free haircuts, and there's so many other agencies being represented. Joe,
Larry,
how's it going?
there you go. Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going good. As you can see, we're going to flip this camera over. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see us all the way down. We are packed with veterans and services. We have all types of services here at Vets Helping Vets at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard. That's next to the main library. We're in here, and we have, like I said, all types of services. I can go right down the list very, very, very quickly here. We'll just sit on this here. We got AM Vets, Americans for Prosperity, Empress Bank, Appleton Museum of Art, the Baldwin Brothers Funerals, Big G Pottery, Career Source, College of Central Florida, the Community Legal Services of Mid-Florida, Department of Veterans, Employment Specialists, Faith Riders, and they're the ones that are giving the free haircuts today. The First United Methodist Church, the Florida Telecommunications Relay, the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs, the Free DOM Clinic, and that's for mental health. The Heavy Equipment College of America, that's where they teach you how to use the equipment. We're just going to come in here. That's just one of the rooms that we're here, that we're sitting in here right now. We have Iris Baxley here, the Homeless Coalition, Hospice of Marion County, HUD, Interfaith Services, Ledgewood Construction, Marion County Election Center, Marion County Sheriff's Department, Marion Senior Services, Marion Technical College, Ocala Police Department, Ocala VA Community-Based Outpatient Clinic, the Ocala Vet Center. We got PTSD Foundation, Regions Bank, St. Leon University, Salvation Army Canteen, the Salvation Army, Scott Young Insurance, Service Dogs for Patriots, Social Security Administration, Suicide Prevention, the Vines, United Way, the Veterans National Real Estate Professionals, the Veterans Court, Veterans Village, and Volunteers of America. That's just most of the list. There's other people that have come in and said, do you have room for me? And we said, yes. So this is just a sampling of what's going on here. And as you hear, if you can hear all the noise and everyone's talking, that's because everyone's communicating and taking advantage of what's happening in here. The mayor is here somewhere, and Wesley from the from the voting administration here. And gentlemen, just if you're watching the video, we just pointed. That's the mayor's here. Yeah, he's right in there. So,
all right.
Matter of fact, here's Wesley. He's here. There he is. Wave hi to everybody. There we are. There they are. We're checking everyone out here. Everyone's coming in to say hi. And no. They're asking questions in the middle of a broadcast. It doesn't matter, because that's the way we do things here. We're looking at it.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
We're going down here. So if you are in the area, please avail yourself of the services here, because like I said, there are so many people coming here that are taking advantage of it. What time am I coming back there, Larry?
You're coming back at 10:32.
10:32, all right. Again, it's Joe Martone, broadcasting live from Veterans Helping Veterans USA, right here on East Silver Springs Boulevard. Back to you, Larry.
Come to the 6th Annual Habitat Strawberry Festival on March 2nd, 2019 at the McPherson Government Complex. The festival will have vendors, food, a car show, a kids zone, live entertainment, pie eating contests, and all things strawberry, all to also raise funds to build a habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is March 2nd with breakfast served at 7:30. Free admission, $5 parking. See you there. Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs within.
All right, 8 minutes after 10 o'clock, a little bit late because of our appearances from Joe Martone down at the Veterans Resource Center. So if you are a veteran, make sure you get down there. There's a lot of opportunities for you to learn about the different services in our community. Right now, we're going to learn about other things in our community. It's time for Ocala Magazine Radio. Philip Glassman and John Sotomayor are your hosts. Good morning, gentlemen. How you
Good
doing?
morning, Larry.
Good
Great.
morning, Larry. How are you?
See you both. You got a good-looking guy with you? Who's that guy?
We have our guest here today. He is Keith Hill. Keith Hill, as many people in town already know, he is the double champion of the History Channel shows Forge and Fire and Knife or Death.
Cool.
Yes.
Wow.
I think that he makes him a master champion, wasn't it?
A master champion.
Grand champion is what they call it.
A grand champion. That's what it was.
You sent me some photos. I'm trying to figure out, is this one of them right here? Oh, there you are. Oh, with John. Look at that. There you are.
Yes.
Where are you? That looks like a workshop.
That's at his home, and he has a forge there on his property.
Oh,
You
wow.
want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it's I moved here in about 2011. Retired from the police department up in New Jersey, and was looking for something to do to occupy my time besides driving my wife crazy. And so my wife and I both do a lot of reenacting from like the 1500s to the 1800s.
Is that right? Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so it's really neat. My wife is really into history, so she kind of corralled me into that.
You got actor's good looks. You could be an actor.
Well, thank you.
Are you? I mean, do you do some of the stuff? I mean, obviously you've been in front of a camera, so does it parlay? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Parlay?
Parlay?
Absolutely.
Does that lend
Carry
itself
forward.
to
Translate.
the films or TV? Does that help? I mean,
Well, sure. I would love to do something like that. I've done some reenacting films on PBS, but besides that, I'm certainly open to.
what city were you a police officer in?
In the Passaic County Sheriff's Department up in New Jersey.
Oh, in the deputy. You were
It was
deputy.
actually a SWAT.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Absolutely. It's a
Wow.
little bit different than a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, I like to kind of play it down.
Yeah, he's very humble, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are featured in the new issue of Ocala Magazine.
Actually, this is the December 2018, Larry.
okay.
We're going a little back in going back to our roots when we had transitioned to the new magazine.
That's correct.
And what we did with the December issue is focus on a success, and our theme was all in, to show that Ocala Magazine was all in with our new design, our new look, our new brand. And we thought, what better way to do this than to cover it in the Better Than the Best issue, where we focus on all the best things in Ocala. So that tied in with the reality TV show. We have several people in the community here that have been on reality TV shows and did quite well. We have another guest.
our
Hopefully he'll
guest on
make
the
it
phone.
here. Dan Rengering, he was on Survivor, the CBS show, the last season of David versus Goliath, and he's originally from Gainesville and also works as a SWAT officer currently.
Wow.
I think he's on the phone.
I think so. Let's push it up. Good morning. You're on the air with us now. Good night to have you with us.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Dan, this is Philip
for having me.
Glassman, and I own Ocala Magazine, and we're looking forward to meeting you.
I am on my way.
All the women in the whole town, they're going,
right.
where is he? How do I find him? Can I meet him? I'm like, yes, I think I can set it up.
I'll be there shortly. I'm coming. Tell him I'm on the way.
All right, Dan, no problem. But in the meantime, we were just talking about your role in Survivor, the past season, David versus Goliath. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your experience was like and what you're going to be up to next. I'll premise this by saying that you had some upcoming presentations, some red carpet stuff to do with the Grammys, Emmys, and SAG Awards. So since this feature had started 2 months ago, we're kind of doing a where are they now, like what you guys are doing now. So if you can focus on that.
Okay. So I got some new stuff coming up. Can't really talk about a whole lot of it though. Really, to be
Okay.
honest. So working on getting on some other TV shows and whatnot, some different charity events, stuff like that.
That's great.
Staying involved, trying to help people as much as I can as well.
Can you tell us about the red carpet presentations?
Supposed to be going to whichever one is this weekend.
Okay.
So supposed to be going to that.
Okay, awesome. And it says here from my notes you'll be joining Ryan Seacrest, Mario Lopez, Kevin Frazier for some of these. So it sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to be a good time. So.
Okay, awesome. And tell us about your experience on Survivor. What was that like?
Oh man, that was probably one of the single greatest experiences of my life, other than my children being born. You know, getting to be out there, getting to escape from the real world for a little bit. You know, you kind of live in the woods. You know how people used to live. It's such a great experience. You know, and you know, eating just coconut and rice for a few days. You know, that's a heck of an experience. Heck of a way to lose some weight too. You know.
You had a very special experience there because you made friends with the wrestler. His name is John. What was the name again?
John Hennigan. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I love that guy. I talk to him pretty regularly. He's a great guy. I still talk to him quite a bit. I actually got to go up and see him win the championship belt for the wrestling league that he's wrestling in. That was pretty fantastic. He's a cool guy.
Dan, did you find out that was like super challenging for you, kind of bring out your fire in the belly, if you would, on being on Survivor?
Wait, what was that again?
Did you find that it was really super challenging internally, and it was like kind of brought out your fire in the belly, if you would?
I mean, I'm already a natural competitor. Anything I do, I want to win. You know, whether it's playing Monopoly with my kids or Uno, you know, I kick their tails. So for me, it's just another day going out there. The hardest part for me was being away from my kids, not being able to eat for days on end. You know, that was kind of difficult. The challenges honestly weren't as challenging as I thought they would be, but I get why. You know, you have people like John Hennigan, who's a professional wrestler, competing against people that are professors in robotics and whatnot, so you kind of have to even out the playing field. I was hoping that the physically it would be more challenging in the challenges, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and Dan, you have overcome some challenges of yourself in your personal life. You have lost over 140 pounds in a 5-year period, and that dedication to your physical training helped you get into the modeling world, go on covers and book covers, and you also work as a SWAT officer in Gainesville. We were just talking about that with Keith Hill. He was a former SWAT in New York. So you definitely rise to the occasion. Tell us about that.
For me, the biggest reason I wanted to lose weight was I wanted to be a SWAT operator. That's in our department, and I feel like in every department, that's the best of the best that the officer, or the best of the people they have to offer.
Right on.
And that's where I wanted to be. You know, I wanted to be more than just average. So I did everything I could to lose weight, become a SWAT operator, be one of the elite in the department, and be one of the people that's counted on and looked to for leadership and guidance and tactical knowledge.
All right. Well, so what's next? Is there an appearance here? This is the part I'm confused about. Are you guys doing something here, John?
Hopefully Dan will make it on the show. There was a little confusion on the scheduling.
Okay.
But yeah, we wanted to talk about some of the exciting features that we do. Again, the December kind of kicked off. November and December kind of kicked off our new Ocala magazine. So we're talking with our guests here about the things that they've accomplished and what they're doing now. So
very good. And the new magazine is now called OM.
Right.
That is correct.
Right, just so I get that part right. Okay.
He likes doing that.
All right. All right. Well, so let's continue with our conversations in the studio. And
yes.
do you want to take? Is there a third guest? That am I confused?
Those are the two coming today.
Or two guests. All right. So do you guys know each other?
No, other than just the magazine. He certainly is an inspiration.
Are you competitive also?
Extremely competitive.
Oh, really?
I
doesn't know how to lose.
I'm a mountain biker, and I was 3 years in a row was a state champion in my category.
Is that right? Wow! And where did you mountain bike?
All over the whole entire state. It's GOMriding.com. They're just an incredible production company, and they put on a whole series throughout the whole entire state. So started up in Tallahassee and going all the way down to Miami and everything in between.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 10-race series, and it's super challenging. Great people, and it pushes yourself to keep yourself in really, really good shape.
So do you participate in like the what do they call those races where they have all kinds of obstacles in them? What do they call them?
You mean like
My son does them.
Iron Man? Or?
Iron Man, probably.
That might be one. Iron Man is one of them. Yeah.
Well, it's
Very
interesting this
challenging.
came up because he shared this in his feature story with us where he applied his training with mountain bike competitive racing to the Knife or Death Challenge, because that is an obstacle course that they have to go through. They have to time themselves. Keith shared about how he paced his timing based on how he does his mountain bike racing. So maybe you want to elaborate on that, Keith?
Yeah. The race, mountain biking, will last for about an hour, hour and a half, depending on the course. So you can't leave out of the gate at 900 miles an hour because your heart will blow up, and you can't sustain that pace for an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you have to pace yourself and go as fast as you can, up to about 95% of your heart rate. And the same thing, I just applied it right to the show, where I felt myself getting to that limit, and you can judge yourself on your heartbeat. And
Really?
Yeah.
Do either of you use technology to monitor the heart rate and all that? Do you have one of the smartwatch or something?
No, actually, I've tried it, and it distracts me too much.
Oh, really?
You're constantly looking down, and it just really concentrating more on looking at the watch rather than feeling and knowing your own body. So I just.
And Larry, for those who don't know the show, The Knife or Death, it's a series of obstacles that's designed for people who have blade making techniques, and they are invited to bring their own blade on the show that they've made themselves.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's crazy, Larry. They have
I've never made a blade in my life.
and some of the obstacles include the Trailblazer, Stick and Move, Ice Pick, Lifeline, Curtain Call. All these are specifically designed for different types of techniques. For Keith can talk about it more than I can. What he did there.
Yeah. The blade that I made was a cross between a kukri and a machete. Kukri is, for lack of words, it would be looking like a banana, if you will.
Okay.
Where it kind of swoops down, so
Right.
whatever you hit, it's going to swoop in and cut it really efficiently.
What is it used for?
It's a very proven blade. Is a combat blade.
Oh, it's combat. It's not like cutting down corn.
No, well, it certainly
Well, you
could.
could use it in the jungle.
Could be used as cutting down corn and
Coconuts or
and cutting bones and everything else.
And the one he made is a cross with a machete too, so it does have that use.
Oh, okay.
So it has the combination of both, and just you have to look at the angle of the blade and geometry on the blade. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just smashing a piece of metal and putting edge on it. And there's a whole.
I always would watch the guys who threw the knives and got them into the wall and think that's not a skill. That's an accident. But I can't do it.
That's a true skill right there.
You've got
skill,
it.
yeah,
Is that
that's-
yours? I mean, is that one of your things?
I can, but that wasn't part of the show. It was more you did not want to release the blade from your hand because then you no longer have control over it.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
also weight and measurement and timing when it comes to throwing the knife. It's
Absolutely.
very scientific.
Do you measure it with your eyes? I mean, how do you know how far away you are from something?
You judge the distance and how hard you're going
Holy
to
mackerel.
spin the blade. And
That's correct.
I can't even get a butter knife into the dirt. Wow. And all this is in Ocala Magazine, huh?
That's correct.
You guys do a good job. Wow.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
A lot of thought goes into what themes we're going to cover each month. We try to go with a general theme from story to story and how they relate to one another. So as you see, thumbing through the December issue,
Yeah.
we had the Better Than the Best issue that year, which was awesome to put together because of the Jesse Miller's creative ideas and the work with the photographer John Jernigan and myself. We all contributed towards the unique photography that went in there, the styling that went in there, and then the selections that we got, all the nominations of the best businesses in town, all competing for that title of who's the better than the best. And it's just a phenomenal experience to go through that and then to tie in the other features with that.
And that was the first one that we actually redesigned cover to cover, which we have submitted ourselves into the Florida Magazine Association.
That's right.
You should win.
Thank you.
Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a married guy?
No, I'm single.
Uh-oh.
With two
Ladies.
girls and 2 dogs.
That's right, ladies.
Yeah,
We're in big trouble, Dan.
when you lost the weight, you just became a different person. I'm looking at I guess that's the before picture, right?
Yes.
In the magazine, right? I mean, how long did that take you?
It took me a solid year and a half to get in good enough shape to be able to try out for our SWAT team, and I've been working on being a better version of myself since then. Always trying to improve and try to get better and be in better shape.
Hey, I have a question. You have in the photograph, it looks like a Bible verse on your arm.
Yeah.
What is that?
Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacekeepers, for they are the children of God. Firmly believe that's why I firmly believe I was put here on this earth to be a cop. Like, I feel like it's a calling for a lot of people that do it, and that's what I am. I'm a peacekeeper. I feel like it's a near and dear verse to me.
And you're still with the police department, right?
It's the SWAT. He's with out of Gainesville.
But SWAT is with what? The sheriff's office?
No, that's its own elite force.
But I mean, which agency are you with?
Gainesville Police Department.
Gainesville Police. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm looking at the badge or the shield, I guess. What do you call it, a shield or a badge?
Badge.
My father always called it a shield. That's why I didn't know for sure. So Keith, do you miss doing it? I mean, it sounds like this is in your blood too.
Yeah. I still do it, man. If I ever walk away from it, it's going to be really hard for me.
No, you do.
I love it.
Yeah, Keith said he's retired though, right?
Yes, retired. I did it for 20 years, and the gang activity up there where I was very prolific. There was probably about 78 different identified gangs just in the one city alone that we patrolled.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jersey is such a bad state, isn't it?
Well,
I'm teasing.
There's parts of it that are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely. It just
it's illegal to pump gas. So that's what I love about New Jersey.
That's right. Yeah.
There's a lot of other things that we won't get into right now, but.
So do you ever consider joining one of the agencies down here?
No, I'm too old school, and I'm sure my counterpart will attest to this, that there's way too many cameras anymore for me to actually do my job as a old school policeman.
I know. I hear you.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yes.
What is the race that Alex does, Robin? What is that?
Savage Race. He does that one.
Do you guys do that? The Savage races, or is that
Mm-hmm.
kids play to you? The Savage Race. Is that easy?
No, no, I don't do that. I stick to mountain biking.
Okay.
Just I have a bad knee, so I can't really pound on it too much. I want to prolong it as much as I can.
So when I picture mountain biking, it's not like Tour de France, right?
No, it's a bike that has wider tires. It has like a beefy tread on the on the tire.
So it's a smaller wheel, right?
No, it's actually it's a fatter tire than a regular road bike.
But I mean, as far as the diameter, is it smaller than you would see on a racing bike?
No.
Oh, really? It's big.
It's actually a road bike will have, I think it's a 26 or 28, and I'm sure.
Oh, that is big. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
My bike mechanic is probably beating me over the head right now. You don't even know the size.
You have a guy.
Yeah, but the mountain bike is a 29-inch wheel, so it's a pretty big wheel. So it rolls over different obstacles a whole lot easier, and the pressures in the tire are really low, so it goes over a lot of.
Okay.
Yeah. Keith has shared with me that he also teaches on the side. He shows other people the craft of knife making, and is very involved with the medieval showcases at St. Augustine and stuff with his wife Janice.
I was wondering if you were at the Hogtown one. Were you at the Hogtown one in Gainesville?
My wife was.
Okay.
She loves going to those things. Very, very active, and she is historically correct with her outfits. I mean, to the point where she
Me too. My outfit is historically correct.
Mine is sometimes hysterically correct, but you know.
Yeah, we went to that. That was fascinating to watch the people banging the metal and turning things into things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's a true art, and
forging.
Yes, that actually is interesting, Larry, about the Forge and Fire show, because they're given unique challenges every time. They're given different types of metals, things you never think of doing. Like, what are some of those items that they had you work with?
Well, we had a backhoe bucket, and we had to harvest the seal out of the backhoe bucket, and you have to figure out what part of the bucket you have to take the metal out of, because each different part of the backhoe bucket, there's different types of steels, hardenable steels, mild steels. You know,
Really?
mild steel will not take a temperament, and it'll remain soft, so it will not retain that edge.
So that's one of the challenges of the show, Larry. That they have to think on the spot. What am I going to do? Which metal am I going to use?
And then it's timed, right?
Exactly, and it's timed. So
wow, wow,
yeah,
super challenging.
So you have to. Well, again, this is where part of my training as a police officer came into play. You have to be able to think on your feet very quickly.
Is it visual? How do you know? I mean, or do you taste it or something? How do you know?
Well, it's actually called.
Don't taste it, Larry.
Don't eat the steel, Larry.
Sometimes I do taste it, but not because I want to. No, it's actually called doing a spark test. Well, you take a grinder and you hit the piece of metal, or you can actually heat the blade up or heat the piece of metal up, put it into the oil to temper it real quick, and then hit it with a hammer. And if it shatters, then it's hardenable. But if it just bends over it, then it's a mild seal. It won't harden.
Wow. Who's the dog in the picture? Got a beautiful dog.
Duke.
Yeah, that's Duke. That's my boy.
John? Who made or Phil? Who made the decision to include the dog in the photo?
It was his decision. We let him forefront on that decision.
Right.
We don't ever try to separate a man from his dog.
That's right.
I'll be known as the worst publisher in the history of the world.
And he's definitely a shop dog. He's a German Shepherd, and he's about 10 years old now, going on 11, and he is brutally faithful.
Is that Dan right there?
That's Dan here waving at us. He'll come in a minute.
Brutally loyal.
He looks different.
He's big.
Oh,
yeah, he's a big guy. There he is. Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, good.
Dan is here, ladies. Dan is here, ladies.
Oh man, you're a movie star too. Look at you. He's another movie star.
Ready for action.
How come Robin left the room? Rob, what are you doing leaving the room?
Use this? Don't worry, they're blowing up my phone already, Larry.
So are you guys? Help me out with this. Is there an appearance that we can go see you guys at besides the magazine? I mean, I know we can see you in the magazine.
Locally, I don't have anything going on right this moment. Nothing that I'm aware of.
Oh, you need to be in something.
Definitely.
I mean, what are we doing? Let's go.
We'll work something out with the magazine.
You must have something up your sleeve, right? You got.
Sounds like we need to bring him for a live signing at Rawhide Live tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do have a concert there tonight, which is Crazy White Boys, and then we got Second Chance tomorrow night.
Crazy White Boys.
Can you be there tonight, Dan?
What time?
What time?
Doors open at 7 and the concert starts at 8.
I got a softball game at 7:30 and 8:30, but I can come after that.
All right. If that's not too late. Hey, you too, Keith.
Sure.
Come too.
Well, absolutely.
Let's go.
So Dan, what was what would you say to the guy you used to be?
Keep on keeping on, man. Work hard. You can change.
Did you have those kind of doubts at one time? Do you look like you're a confident guy, but I'm wondering if back then you weren't.
No, not back then. Definitely wasn't confident back then.
You look like Superman. You could be Superman. Or maybe it's the chest.
Maybe it's the shirt, right?
No, it's the hair too. It's everything, right?
I mean, that's kind of my favorite superhero, to be honest.
Mine too.
Superman's the best.
Oh gosh, of course.
I mean, he's the one. He always does right, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the kind of man that every man should want to be like, if you ask me.
But be careful. You're right next to Thor, so I don't know.
Superman versus Thor.
I don't know if I want to see a contest between Thor and Superman.
Thor's a little shady.
Shadows.
Well, thank you all for coming in here. And Phil, do you want to end it?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something to Dan. You know, I commend you. You know, I really respect what you said here about your children, since I'm being a father myself, and it's so rare to find good parenting and specifically fatherhood in our society today.
Yeah, that was a sweet thing to
Leading by example, I believe, is everything. So I commend you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And I also want to thank Dan for coming down from Gainesville to be with us today, and Keith for coming in from Ocklawaha. These guys came a distance to be with us today, so that's awesome.
And thank you for your SWAT service that you guys have done for 20 years and 10 years and what you guys have done there.
Yeah, you know, when I see that big SWAT vehicle that the sheriff's office has, I mean, it's cool in the parade, but you realize that when you look at that, you guys, the guys who actually sit in that vehicle, every time you use that vehicle, you're putting yourself in a life and death situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what we all signed up for. You know, you got to do what you got to do to help people.
Wow.
When Larry sees it, he's amazed, and when I see it, I run as fast
We
as
have
I
you
can.
well trained.
He can compete on the show.
Thank you for what you've chosen to do, both of you. Law enforcement doesn't get thanked enough, so thank you for choosing to do that. And your amazing skills. You're both really good-looking guys, and so find a camera somewhere so we can get you on a film or something. You guys are good-looking too. You guys, look at this picture right here, Robin. Where's Robin? What's the matter?
We got to get a photo together after the show.
John and Philip, thank you. Do you want to give out information about the magazine?
Absolutely. We're having our 40 under 40 call-out nominations. So everyone, please, if you have someone you'd like to nominate who is 40 under 40, contact editorial or editor at ocalamagazine.com. You can also post it on our Facebook page. We'll be watching and monitoring.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming in. All right. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala. At the Veterans Resource Center. Good morning again, Joe.
Good morning. I hope you have a picture. If you don't, oh well. I'm trying.
I do. It's somebody's hands, looks like.
Oh, okay. That's a painting, believe it or not.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
That is a painting. There we go. And that's an actual painting that's here, hanging up in Veterans Helping Veterans Administration. Veterans Helping Veterans USA Services. I could get that right. There's so many services here, and we're helping out different people from Fargo. There's a gentleman from Fargo just moved to the area. He's a veteran, and he needs his documents moved over from Fargo to here, and he didn't know where to turn. And well, guess what? We've got those services here. And I connect that with the first one, and then he says, "Well, we got to go to the next one to connect to make an appointment to the next one." I said, "Fantastic!" So it's working. It's working.
Yeah. Tell me, have you met any of the people who are homeless that are coming in for supplies or haircuts or anything?
Yes, sir. Well, if you give me a second, I'll tell you what. You mentioned haircuts, and it'll take me about 35 seconds or more to get outside, and you'll actually see. We're walking outside now. You'll actually see them.
Oh wow! Okay.
Giving haircuts. Now we're outside here in the front, and it might be a little noisier out here. But this is Faith Riders, and they're out of Ocala. And Trinity Baptist Church of Ocala. No one left behind. Faith Riders. And he's giving them haircuts. He's finishing them off right now. There you go.
Oh wow! Okay, I see it. Yeah. Well, that's some haircut.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got no hair at all.
No, that's what he wanted. Wanted it all trimmed off. I might have found myself, well, the back of my hair getting cut. They're not up front anymore, but.
You gonna do that?
Hey, paste your face on it. He cleans you off with the paintbrush. And that's a freebie.
There you go.
You need a haircut? You're on about? Come on by if you're a veteran. You get it done.
Are there any
the
agents?
other table over here. And if you notice, they're working feverishly, giving things away. So.
Any agencies there, Joe, that can help somebody find a job?
Yes. How about Career Source? There's a big trailer over there.
Nice.
In the back. Oh, you can see it or not, but it's back there. Career Source is here. If you're a veteran, you need help, come here today, and we will help you, one shape or another. We got the Salvation Army here. Their kennels, they're working here with their big thing. We'll be what time I come back to you again, Larry?
What do you say, 11:02?
11:02. I'll be back.
All right, Joe.
This is Joe Martone broadcasting live from Vets Helping Vets USA in Ocala on East Silver Springs Boulevard. Back to you, Larry.
Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
great. A familiar face and voice is in the studio. Kelly Hart is here. Kelly has been working for a while for Family Times magazine, which we love, by the way. We got a few copies out here.
Thanks.
And you have a guest today, John Spencer. We're going to talk about the Recreation and Parks Department of the City of Ocala. So good morning, Kelly. Good morning, John. Nice to meet both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Kelly?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
You posted a video with your hair up, no bangs.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize you.
Didn't recognize me. I know.
Do you know that people don't recognize you?
That's my disguise. So if I want to go out anywhere, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and I just want to run in and run out, that's what I do.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Lift them up.
It's my disguise.
Let me see. Yeah, you're a different looking person. Yeah.
Yeah, totally different. So John and I are here this morning to talk about the City of Ocala Recreation and Parks Department because, as you know, I've been there for a little over a year now. And so we have so many different events and programs that happen throughout the year, and they are ever changing. Some of our programs are annual things that the city has come to expect and look forward to, and then some things are brand new. So I'll just kind of let John go over his portion of things, and you can ask questions, and if people want to call in and ask questions about what we do, that's great too. And then
first let me just thank you, because I think the events that you schedule, that you plan out, I mean, it enriches all of us.
It does.
I mean, really, it's just a shame when you hear about people who say there's nothing to do, because there's always something to do.
Oh yeah,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, there's so much some weekends that it's hard for my family to choose what we want to do.
Yeah. So who decides the different events, and is it a brainstorming thing, or how do you do that?
So most of our larger events are brainstorming with the recreation staff and our director. We sit down. Some of the annual things like Light Up Ocala and the Cattle Drive, we kind of know what to do, and then we get together as staff and decide. So do we tweak it? Do we add some things? And some of the smaller events, like the ones we're talking about this morning, or some of the recreation staff will come up with an idea and try to put something together. Like this weekend, as we're doing an ice cream social for dogs. Like that's not something you typically hear of.
Ice cream for dogs?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So this Saturday at Letty Tao's Dog Park, we're doing the Paws Ice Cream Social. So we were challenged a little bit, come up with an idea to do something at the dog park for the folks who come out and bring their dogs. So we're having a little get together, ice cream for dogs, ice cream for the humans.
Right.
Nice little good event over at the dog park.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yes.
Do the dogs actually eat ice cream?
Yes. So
is that good for them?
Could be. It depends. I think a scoop is okay. A 5-gallon bucket probably not so much. So.
I think I saw ice cream that is made for dogs.
They do make that
in Publix or something.
Yes, they do that. But our sponsor Brewster's will be giving out ice cream free for the dogs.
They always give to dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has like a little doggy bone on the top.
So if you bring your dog out this Saturday from between 10 and noon.
Do you have a dog? Do you own a dog?
I do not own a dog.
Kelly, do you own a dog?
Of course I do.
You do? What kind of dog do you have?
He's a Lhasa Poo.
I had a dog that was a Lhasa Poo too.
Yes, well, I do have a dog. I can't imagine not having a dog.
No, oh my gosh. It broke my heart when my dog died. I know. I won't make you cry.
No, don't.
So Paws Ice Cream. So when is this?
So this Saturday morning at
tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning between 10 and 2. Free ice cream for dogs, and if the humans want to buy some, Brewster's will have a lot of their other flavors available.
I didn't know it was called the Letty Toll. I didn't know the name of the dog park.
Mm-hmm.
I know where it is though. What's the story behind the name? Is that a person, Letty Toll?
It is. Yes, it is.
Who is that?
And I don't know the full story, but I do know that Letty Toll's, and I hope that this is correct, and it is on our website, ocalafl.org, has done dog training and been a big advocate for that population in the community, and has given back so much so in regards to pet training and all of the things that
really?
For different families. And so hence the name and the dog part, which I just posted this morning on the Ocala Recreation and Park Facebook page, a huge sandlot that was just built for the large dog side of the park. So they'll be able to go in and play in this huge sandbox. So there's a picture on our Facebook page for anybody interested. So
I'm going to have to get a dog, Robin.
You're going to have to. Yeah, so it comes in good time. So when people come out tomorrow for this event, they'll get to play in this big, huge sandbox for the first time.
Oh, that sounds like
Exciting.
fun. That sounds
Yeah.
like fun.
Sure.
Should be lots of fun times for dogs and the humans.
So
Absolutely.
So is it a week from today, first Friday?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Week?
it is.
We love that
Yes, it
event.
is.
Yes, that's on March 1st.
We do that every Friday.
Every first Friday.
Every first Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, that is fun. You know who we are, right?
Yeah.
We're my uncle's friends. That's what we call ourselves on the first
I
Friday.
see you guys every time I go to First
Did you know we
Friday.
called ourselves that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't want to use Robin and the Giant. Don't tell anybody.
Well, we won't. Your
use
secret is safe
my
with us.
uncle's friends, and people come up and say, "Oh, I mean, unless they know us, from something else."
But who doesn't know you guys already? So
I know.
I don't know how that
We're
even
not
works
kidding
for
anybody,
you.
I know. But anyway.
Oh, you have such a super roster lineup for all of your events. In fact, today, on Friday, February 22nd, you have a one-pitch softball tournament that'll be happening this evening.
Yes, this evening at Ocala Regional Sportsplex, we're trying to bring back some different softball activities. So we're trying something new and doing a one-pitch tournament this evening. Teams can come out; they can register online through our website, and then come out, have a fun time playing softball, and you're not involved for 8 or 9 weeks. It's just one night. Come on out.
Oh, okay. That's what one pitch means?
Yeah, so it's one pitch. Pretty much you get one pitch to your opportunity to hit it. See if.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One strike and you're out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, wow.
In layman's terms,
Are you
yes.
good at that?
Me personally, no. But
Me either. I'm not good, but I'd like to try it. Give it a shot. At least I'd only look foolish one time instead of 3 times.
Correct.
And for people that play cards, you've got something going on in the year-round programs. You have bingo, bridge, pinochle, and even karaoke you've thrown in there.
Absolutely, yes. So our adult activity centers, we have 2 centers, and I love the programs that they do. So some of the things, like you say, they do annually, like Rejuvenate with the Arts is something that happens on Tuesday mornings, and it happens every single month. And so each month it's a different theme, and they do some of the most amazing crafts that you've seen. I mean, these are not just little watercolor or popsicle sticks. I mean, they leave out with some really beautiful artwork and decor for their homes. And so we think that it's really exciting that we can offer things year round, but then also some things like, for example, we just recently did a speed dating program for Valentine's Day, which was really nice. And then
How did that work out?
It went really well.
I hope it worked out well, but
Anybody
they
hook
don't
up?
kiss and tell.
But the word hookup, it means something different now. I don't mean the way they now. When I was a kid, hooking up just meant going out, but now it means more than that.
Today, yeah.
But I do know there was probably about 15 or so seniors or older folks coming out, and it was
older than us, I hope.
I believe so. But they came out, had some conversations, and we had some, starter questions. I do know there was one gentleman who had his name and phone number on a business card. And he's like, hey, and I think he passed a few of those out. So I think I think he's been doing this a few times.
Oh, no.
Well, and I think that it's lovely. I mean, when you hear adult activity, it used to be called the Senior Center. And so we've really tried to get away from that and call it the Adult Activity Center because it's for, 50 and 55 plus. And that is not old. I mean, I don't want people to think that these are, places that you go to.
It's the Einstein thing.
Expire.
It's relative.
Yes, it's very
not old to
active.
me.
They do karaoke, they do dancing, and a bunch of different things to. Really, it's a place to meet people and socialize.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh gosh, it's a Carrie Underwood song, which is country, which is crazy because I'm not even a country fan. Oh gosh. Okay, so the song is called Before He Cheats.
There you go.
So I'll let you Google that for yourself.
I will.
Lyrics are.
I'm gonna do that one.
Lyrics are pretty brilliant. So.
do you have a go-to song?
I do not do karaoke.
You don't.
But I'm too geeky. I'd rather be behind the scenes, pushing some buttons and watching everyone else.
Oh, really? You're not geeky. Why do you say that? Yeah. Let's see. You should do Whip It. Whip It good.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be a good one.
We'll make sure he does that next karaoke.
Yeah, next time we do karaoke.
Okay.
Ocala Recreation and Parks encompasses everything. You've got an event that's going on at Fort King. The Fort King Strength Challenge called GRIT.
Yes, it's called GRIT. So this is an inaugural event, which we think is going to be spectacular and something that we plan to do every year. Fort King National Historic Landmark has partnered with CrossFit Iron Legion. And so if you've ever seen on TV these Scottish games and those types of things where these people come out and they do some really unique challenges to kind of test their strength and their endurance. This same type of thing will be happening inside the historic landmark, which is a really cool, especially if no one's been there. They'll be really wowed by the massive size that there is for this program. So, and some of the challenges are really super unique. It's stuff you've never seen before, and the only cost is to the competitors themselves. So if you want to just come out and spectate, you don't even have to know anybody competing. Just if you want to just come out and watch these crazy people test their strength, you can come out on March 2nd, and there's going to be a barbecue food truck and cold beer.
Nice.
It's free to get in, so if you're not the type to want to compete, which, I mean, there's no way.
Just drink a beer.
Just come out and drink some beers. Yes, absolutely.
All right, you ready? Get your headset on, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, no,
You can do it, right? You can do it?
No way.
Come on. This is your song, right? Right? Now.
No.
Now.
No, I'm not singing.
It's probably slow dancing with a bleach blonde tramp.
Yeah, see, I'm not singing this.
At least not on work time.
We need to come back for a night show, and I'd be happy to wail.
Shoot whiskey right now. How does it go? What's the matter, Lee? Come on.
No.
A pool stick showing her combo. And he don't know. Come on, John, help me out here. That I dug my key into the side. Oh, come on. This is the melody.
I'm not doing it, Larry.
Oh, man.
Bring me back for a night show. Those are lyrics for a night show.
I didn't see anything that didn't work for us.
It's a little aggressive. It's a little woman scorned type of a song. So.
And you got something cool coming up at the Lily and Bryant Community Center. You've got like two things: Lily's Leaping Summer Camp and the Youth Bike Rodeo.
So the city actually offers 3 different summer camps. One is at Lily and Bryant, which is our very reasonably priced camp, and that runs all summer. And then we also have a second camp at Edie Kroski. And our third camp is out of the Discovery Center. And all of those camps run roughly May 28th through August 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to look for a good place to put your kids into some summer camps, we have those 3. So our 2 at our community centers and 1 at Discovery. The Youth Bike Rodeo is coming up on Saturday, March 30th, where our staff will get together and help people and kids learn how to bike safely. There are rules of the road that you should learn how to do your bike, operate your bike and maintain your bike.
I loved my bike when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I always want to get a bike now. I don't know if I die, but I always. Are you a bicycle guy?
Not necessarily. Not all the time.
No. But sometimes you do.
Yeah, mostly with my kids now.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But if you want to learn more, you can come out to our bike rodeo. We'll show you how to make sure your tires are inflated, make sure your chain is lubed, make sure your seat's adjusted properly. And the cool thing is, if you don't have a bike helmet, we'll give you one for free.
Really?
And we'll make sure it's fitted the right size so it's not too big, not too small. Mm-hmm. So we have, a couple.
It'll never be too big for my head. My head is too big.
We might have one that fits you. You should come out and find out.
Do you ride a bike?
To the rodeo? No.
You have After Dark in the Park movie series, and that's at different locations throughout the year.
You have so much stuff to look for. I don't know
which
where to
is
go.
Cool.
So every month throughout the year, we have a public free outdoor movie. We've go different locations throughout the city. We try to spread it out in different parts, so we're not in the same place all the time. The next one is coming up on March 8th, and that's at 7 p.m., and that will be at Tuscaloosa Park, and we're showing the 2017 Justice League. So the movie's free. We'll have some popcorn, some snacks.
I was going to ask you about the food. Do all of the events have food trucks at them? Seems like most of them do.
Not necessarily food trucks, but we do try to provide some type of, if it's not a concessionaire, a food truck.
Really?
So like at the movies, we have pizza. I think we're doing pizza,
some popcorn and drinks.
So.
And you guys put the ice skating rink up, right, this year?
It's the holiday rink. We don't want to use the word ice.
I'm sorry, yeah. But it was pretty. It was nice.
So this last season, we had the holiday rink in Tuscaloosa Park.
And it looked like the kids were really enjoying it. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
It was a bunch of fun. The kids came out and there's a lot of falling and a lot of skating as well.
I saw some falling too. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
little,
But it's a fun activity with under all the lights in the Oak Grove there. It's a beautiful experience.
It is. It's pretty. Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about bundling up in like 45 coats and snow. Worry about snow.
Coming short.
Are you from an area where it snows?
I am. I'm originally from Pennsylvania.
Oh, is that right? Oh, it snowed there. It's snowing there right now.
I believe so. Yeah, I think school was canceled for the next 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
You've got a really huge event for Marion County that encompasses everyone here, the 175th anniversary celebration.
Yes, so that is happening on March 30th, on Saturday, March 30th, and we are just really honored to be a part of that. So really it's a county event, but we will be set up so that when people stop by, they can also see the history of Ocala Recreation and Parks. The fort will be there, so they will have their own tent to do some demonstrations as well. And so it'll be a nice opportunity for people to see just how much we've grown as a city inside of a county that has also continued to grow. So that'll be a great family event.
I mean, it was an understatement to say you give us a lot of stuff. I mean, you give us more than a lot of stuff. There's so many things that you come up with.
And you've got different places on the internet that you can go to find out about all these events.
Yes, so what we encourage people to do is first to follow us on social media. So Ocala Recreation Parks is on Instagram. Ocala Recreation and Parks is on Facebook. So those are great places to see, because every day we're posting flyers and announcements and photos of things that we've been doing. So that's a nice place, kind of a hub for information. But you can also go to ocalafl.org, and there's a nice green button or logo there across the bottom that is Recreation and Parks, and that will take you to not only the events that we have coming up, but if you want to rent a pavilion, for example, maybe you're having a birthday party and so you want to rent the pavilion inside Tuscola Park, you can do that inside of there, get registered for programs and summer camps. So there's a lot of information inside that Recreation and Parks button on our website. And we're also pretty happy that we've been working very diligently to make that ADA accessible as well. So,
John, you hit the jackpot with Kelly. Kelly is so creative. I mean, I'm sure that's part of what makes you successful, is having people with ideas. Like Kelly has all these ideas.
So we're the idea of people coming up with programs and things we want to do, and then Kelly and her team make the flyers look wonderfully and wonderful and pretty, and then they do the backside of the marketing that helps us bring all the people into our events and programs.
Plus, I'm guessing that your love for art incorporates that into all of the events, like John said, so that it's pretty. It's just
right.
What's the word, Robin? Attractive is not the word.
Oh.
Appealing. Appealing. There you go.
Yes, very appealing, very compelling. We want people to see something and just be compelled to want to know more about those things.
Because it is part of the experience. I think when you go to something that, look, a perfect example is Light Up Ocala. Right? I mean, those lights and that's everything.
That is.
I mean, you can't wait for those lights to come on, right?
You're right. Yeah, it's a tradition for most local families.
And you have a newsletter, too.
Yes, so in January we started doing a newsletter, which is really exciting. If you go to our Facebook page, you're able to click a link at the top of the page to sign up to receive that newsletter. It comes out on the first of every month, and it gives you a little bit of information about some of the upcoming events, and then if we have been featured in the media or the news anywhere, those things are there, announcements. So it's stuff that you may not actually get even online or on social media. So,
the fact that
it behooves people to want to get that newsletter.
The fact that you both have children, I think that helps too, because I think that's what a lot of young families are looking for, something to do with the children. And and if you don't have children, you might not be thinking that way.
Right. Well, and I think that it's really excellent that the city, our mission, of course, is to have people, get out and play. We want the community to grow, play and prosper. And so most of our events, the majority of them are free for people. Now, some of our free community events, when you get there might be tickets you can purchase for certain things. But overall, the majority of what we do, we're providing for free. Yeah, so that's really great for families.
Or hardly anything.
Or hardly anything. We make it affordable because people have kids. I mean, I have one, but...
How is Lily? How's she doing?
She's excellent. Thank you for asking.
She's beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
I think the last picture I saw of her, she was no longer a little child anymore.
She's not.
Yeah.
She's not. She's a young lady, but a spectacular young lady.
How old are your children, John?
They are 8 8 and 7.
Oh, you have twins?
I do.
Oh.
So everything's just
How
like
fun.
crazy and fun.
Oh, beautiful. You're
You know,
blessed.
that's one thing is like, so when you're looking at events and you have 3 kids or more, everything's tripled. So, if you're looking for summer camps or something to do on a Saturday, obviously price does play into it in some instances.
Is Suzanne still at the Discovery Center?
No, she's with the city,
okay.
but she does some horticulture projects. So all the beautiful landscaping and these huge, massive flower pots and containers that you see throughout, downtown.
Well, that's right up her alley, right?
She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal there. Yes.
And we lost Mark, her husband. That was such a sad thing.
We did.
I thought of him with the cattle drive the other day because he was a big part of that.
He
right?
was a huge part of that.
And,
yes.
and then at the cattle drive, one of the areas within that was renamed the Mark Shuffett Corral.
Yes.
Is that right?
So we still there's the respect of keeping him alive in that event.
Yes.
Sure.
And going on tonight at Tuscaloosa Park, you have cellist Ben Soley and an art event going on.
Really?
Yes. So it's part of the Art Park Music Series, and Ben Soleil is tonight's performing artist. And you can actually still go online and buy tickets, and it starts down at City Hall, and you can get a map and you do a self-guided tour of some of the public art, and there will be docents at these particular pieces of art, the artists themselves, to tell you, what went into this art and what inspired them. And so you kind of get to meet those artists and then end up inside the art park for refreshments and beautiful music, and it's wonderful. I attended the first part of the series that they had, and it was a really great time.
There's always room for cellos.
Yes, always. So,
probably an old commercial nobody remembers. Right?
No.
Yeah.
And that starts at 6 p.m. in case anyone is interested.
Yes,
They
and we
need to go to
encourage you
City
to-
Hall at 6 p.m.
Yes.
John Spencer, thank you for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Karaoke next time, right?
Possibly.
You know what my karaoke song is?
No.
You Can Call Me Al.
That's a great one.
A man walks down the street and says, "Why am I soft in the middle? Why am I soft in the middle when the rest of my life is so hard? I need a photo opportunity." Kelly, next time you're going to do karaoke with us?
Yes.
I miss you. I miss seeing you.
I miss you guys too.
You're fun.
Yes, thank you so much. I miss you guys.
Kelly Hart, John Spencer, thank you both.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
We'll be right back.
This Friday will be unseasonably warm and rather humid with sunshine and some clouds, a high of 83 near the coast, 88 inland. Partly cloudy and warm Friday night. There may be a shower along the coast. Low 64 inland, just 70 along the coast. Saturday, times of clouds and sunshine remaining very warm and humid with a brief shower or two around, the high 81.